In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to create a triangular waveform and have it show up on a scope. So first thing you want to do is to open up Matlab and then head on over to Simulink. Once you're there, you're going to hit on blank model. You're going to click on a library browser. Okay, and here you can browse all the libraries that you installed when you install your Matlab. And make sure you have the Simscape library. If not, you would have to add it to your Matlab installation. So go into Simscape, and then from here you're going to go into Power Systems, and then from Power Systems you're going to head on over to Specialized Technology, and from there you're going to head on to Fundamental Blocks, and then Electrical Sources. Okay, now you're going to need a controlled voltage source or controlled current source. In this case, we're going to use a controlled voltage source. So you're going to click on that, right click, and then add block to your model. Okay, now you're gonna head back. Now we're gonna get some other elements just to show the waveforms on a scope. So we're gonna add a ground. So to add a ground, you're gonna head over to elements, and then from elements you're gonna right click on ground and add it to your model. Alright, you also want to add your triangular signal generators. So we're going to head on over to, in the same library, you're going to head on over to the power electronics section. From there, you're going to head on over to pulse and signal generators. Once you're there, you're going to see triangle generator and even a sawtooth and stair generator. So in this case, we're going to just use triangular, but the same thing applies for the others as well. You're going to right click and add to model. Come back here. Now, in order to simulate this in Matlab, you have to add the power GUI block. So we're just going to add it. And also we're going to add a monitoring device. In this case, we're going to head on over to Simulink tab on the right hand side here, and then we're going to go to commonly used blocks. Okay, now here we're going to add two things. We're going to add a scope, and then we're also going to add a gain block, and I'll explain that later on. Now, one other block that you would want is a measurement device. So you're going to go back to Simscape, and then from here you're going to go to Power Systems, Specialized Technology, and then Fundamental Blocks. From there, you're going to go to Measurements, and then you're going to add a voltage measurement. Now you can add a current measurement or a multimeter impedance or whatnot here. All right, close out of that. Now we're going to just demonstrate this waveform on a oscilloscope. Okay, you're going to just keep this block anywhere you want. You're going to set it up like this. Have your ground, your controlled voltage source, and your measurement device. Okay, now we're going to first connect the triangle wave generator into the gain block. Okay, now the gain block is used to increase the amplitude of the generated signal. In this case, the signal generated will be a amplitude of 1. Okay, now if you want to adjust the frequency or the phase angle of it, you're going to double click on the triangle generator, and then you can edit those using these boxes. Okay, now you're going to connect that to your gain, and then let's say, for example, you want to get a signal that's an amplitude of 20. So you're going to double click on the gain block, and then you're going to add 20 instead of 1. Okay, and then you hit apply. Okay, now you're going to connect that end of the gain block into the S terminal of your controlled voltage source. From there, you're going to connect your voltage measurement device as such. Now, if you had some other parts of your circuit, you connect this. You consider this as the source and connect those parts, and then connect that to the ground. But in this case, we're just demonstrating these voltage source. So you can connect the ground there, and that should be good. Now, to view our waveform generated from our source, we're going to connect the voltmeter into a scope. Now, this setup should help you visualize your waveform. Now, you're going to come over here. Since our original frequency is about 1 kilohertz, we're going to set our simulation time to be around 0.01. Okay, now you're going to hit run. So this is going to determine how long your simulation will run, so how long on the time axis the graph would go on for, and then you're going to hit play or run. Okay, now you're going to go over here, and once it's compiled, you're going to just double click on your scope. Alright, So now you should see a triangular waveform with an amplitude of 20.